Ashes don't mean the end. They mean something had to burn. Welcome to Ash to Phoenix. I'm Queen Anne, the Transformer, and this is Truth Be Told, where we stop running and start looking in the mirror, where accountability becomes power and healing becomes transformation. This is your reminder you are not stuck, you are becoming. There comes a moment when you realize you're not holding on because it feels good, you're holding on because it feels familiar. And that right there is the difference between alignment and attachment. Alignment feels like peace. It feels like clarity. It feels easy. It feels like you can be yourself without shrinking, without forcing, without overthinking every move. Even when it's challenging, it still feels right. Attachment feels like tension. It feels like confusion. It feels like overthinking. It feels like trying to make something work that deep down, you already know it doesn't. But here's the truth. A lot of people don't choose alignment because they are attached to how it used to be, what they hope for, what they hope it will become, the time they invested, the version of themselves in it, and the ideal of starting over. And now you're holding on, not because it's right, but because it's hard to let go. Let's really talk about it. Because attachment doesn't always feel like love. Sometimes it feels like I've already put so much into this, I don't want to waste it. What if it gets better? What if I'm wrong? What if I don't find this again? That's not alignment. That's fear wrapped in hope. And fear will keep you connected to things that are no longer meant for you. Because letting go requires trust. Trusting yourself, trusting your decisions, and trusting what's ahead. And a lot of people don't trust themselves enough to release what no longer aligns. So instead, they stay in relationships that drain them, and the environment that limits them, and cycles that repeat, in situations that confuse them, calling it loyalty, calling it love, calling it patience, when in reality, it's an attachment. Because attachment is often rooted in something. Sometimes it's fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of not being enough, fear of losing your identity, fear of change. And sometimes it comes from what you've been taught, like to hold on, to make it work, to not give up, to stay committed no matter what. And while commitment is powerful, commitment without alignment becomes self-abandonment. And this is where you have to be honest, not with them, but with yourself. Ask yourself, does this feel like peace? Does this feel like peace or pressure? Am I growing here or shrinking? Am I being myself or adjusting to stay? Is this aligned or am I attached? And if you're honest, you already know the answer. You felt it. You just didn't act on it. And that's where people get stuck. Not because they don't know, but because they don't move. So what does it looks like letting go, even when it's hard. It looks like choosing peace rather with what's familiar. It looks like walking away without needing everything to make sense first. It looks like trusting, and what's for you will not require you to lose yourself. And yes, it's going to hurt sometimes because you're not just letting go of a person, a place, or a situation. You're letting go of expectations, memories, comfort, and the version of life you imagine. But here's the shift. Just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's aligned. And just because something is hard to release doesn't mean you're supposed to keep it. Growth will require you to release things that once felt right, but no longer fit who you're becoming. And when you choose alignment, something changes. You feel lighter, you feel clearer, you feel more like yourself. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're no longer forcing what isn't meant. And that's where your power is. Not in holding on, but in knowing when to let go. Because truth be told, you don't struggle with letting go. You struggle with trusting what comes out there. And once you learn to trust, you stop choosing attachment and you start choosing alignment. And that is where your life begins to change. It's all about you.